This way.
No, that way. More. Stop. Now move that chair. Move it. Shut up. It's perfect. Okay. Nick, off. Off. Filming time, no NRL. Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So today we're going to be talking about the truth about the first trimester during pregnancy and what people don't tell you. But before we get into this topic, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, hit that bell button to get our post notifications, as well as subscribe to this channel.
Yes, so the truth about the first trimester from the mother's perspective and the father's perspective.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what we were both feeling and going through. I guess what he saw, me going through as well.
Yeah.
So we did ask some questions as well, just to see kind of what people wanted to know. So we've got a gist of which way to direct this little conversation. We need to start at the beginning. So what are the early signs in the first trimester? Like, how do you even know that you're pregnant before you take the pregnancy test? So I never believe this, but I actually think sometimes, especially if you're like spiritually in tune, like I knew that night it happened.
So you're saying you can feel it?
Yeah, like it was different. Like it just felt different that night. And then afterwards, like when I went to the bathroom, I woke up in the middle of the night and I was just like, I feel pregnant. Like, I know this is not always the case, because especially if you are trying for a while, you can like build it up and think you are sometimes, or yeah. So in my situation,
she did come in.
I just thought I knew.
After it happened, she did say, pregnant, done.
I was like, shit. I'm like, oh my God, are we ready for this? And I to be honest, like I was so excited because I thought I was, but then I remember when I went to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I like had a moment of doubt, like, holy shit, like, do I know what I'm doing? Like, is this what I wanted? Like, I definitely had those thoughts in the moment. I'm like, shit, I'm pregnant. Like,
she did want it for like 6 months.
No, I know, but these are the thoughts I had. Like,
okay.
Straight away, you're gonna like start to think twice, because, well, I was only 23 at the time. Like, it's a very big commitment and it's scary and you don't really know much about it. I thought I was pregnant, but I kind of put it out of my mind for a little bit. I waited for that week to pass, but while those week and a half to 2 weeks before I did the pregnancy test, but before my period was late, which was one of the like
obviously
signs.
That's the tell sign if your period's late, but that was like the immediate reaction.
Yeah,
is that you felt it, but in terms of symptoms,
I can talk.
Carry on.
So I knew what I was saying and you just fucked it up. You
just say the symptoms.
So the first symptoms before my period being late was my boobs did start hurting. I remember when I noticed that I had like weird, this was probably right before I took the test, like the day before, I got weird like hair growth. Like my hair never grows. Do you remember that? My legs were getting hairier.
Weird. She like, it's almost like she's never hit puberty. It's like, it's really weird. But now all of a sudden, there's hair. Yeah. So that happened. You got an increase in testosterone, basically. Yeah.
So I started to feel sick. And you know what was a big telltale sign? I had a few events to go to, and normally I would drink at them. And so I'd go get a glass of champagne or something, and I just felt off. Like I couldn't even stomach it. It's like when I drank it, it sat there, and it was like I felt like I was allergic to alcohol. And I just kept feeling nauseous. Like, so that was like the #1 thing.
So your body naturally reacted to the alcohol?
Yeah, it just didn't want it. And I was like, well, this is weird, because I think I want it, but I don't want it. It's like, you know, when you, I don't know, go to Macca's and get a burger and you think you want to eat a burger, and the minute you have a bite, you're like, I don't want this. That's what it felt like. And my skin went crazy. Like, my skin went really, so basically like all the time, it like broke out. It got sensitive. Like I was breaking out to anything and everything. Like I was just hypersensitive emotionally too. I felt off. I felt down. You get down, I reckon. I think the minute you get pregnant, you get down before you even know it. It does something to your hormones, and I think the imbalances, because...
Like upset down when you're talking?
Yeah. Like I just felt weird. Like I didn't feel happy. All like the little things, and you just feel different. Like I wasn't the Saf I was 2 weeks ago. It was like this weird stuff I didn't know, and then my boobs were
You're still happy, right?
What do you mean?
Were you happy when you, like...
I didn't know I was pregnant yet. This was before I did the test.
Be happy!
And then, the scary part for me, well, this is scary. I bought the pregnancy test and I bought it.
So at this point, you got the pregnancy test?
Well, yeah, now my period's late. All these weird symptoms. I'm like, shit, I'm 99.9% pregnant, I think. I gotta do the test now. This is like the big moment of truth. So Nick made me buy the pregnancy test because I have to be a responsible adult.
Well, she's previously, she's made me go into a chemist pharmacy like 3 or 4 times before this. And she wasn't pregnant every single time. Yeah. And I said, you know what, this time you go in. You need to see what it feels like to walk in there and buy it. Plus, I'm not your slave.
It's such a weird thing. Like when you're doing the pregnancy test, like you, in that moment when you're waiting, it's the longest like few minutes of your life and you want it to say there's a baby. Like, I don't know, like you just want it to. Even if you don't think you want a baby, you want it to say that. And if it doesn't, you actually do get a little bit hurt. So I was like sitting there and being like, oh my God, I hope it is, but wait, do I? And I was really confusing myself, but I knew if it wasn't, I would be down. Anyway, I did it, and because it was so early, it was like super faint and you couldn't barely see a line. Like the first one was barely a line. Like you had to really like squint and hold it in the light. I'm like, am I pregnant? Like, I don't know, like this test is really hard to read.
It was too early basically.
Yeah, like there was a faint line, but we couldn't read it. So then that night I had to go out and like the whole time I'm just thinking like, I buy a digital one and another test. So do the other test and the line's a bit darker and then the digital one. That has to be the scariest pregnancy test you'll ever do because it says not pregnant or pregnant. And those words, like they're emotional. Like you can feel like complete shit. So and
the reason why the line is so faint or so dark is dependent on a hormone that gets released from the woman's uterus. So the further you are along, the darker the line gets on the pregnancy test because that hormone level keeps increasing.
Yeah, it just like keeps rising.
So that's what that hormone actually goes through your urine.
The hormone that Nick's talking about is your HGC levels. So it should like multiply every day. So when you're pregnant, your first pregnancy test, if you do it really early, should be faint, and then it gets darker and darker because that hormone just keeps going up and up and up and up and up. Then it kind of like reaches a point where it doesn't rise anymore. And
that hormone level actually equates to, it's like a numeric value. So if it's 60, it equates to, week 1. If it goes from, level 700 to 1500, you're like week 3 or week 4, whatever.
Nick doesn't actually know, so don't listen.
I do know!
So that was that. So did the digital one, found out I was pregnant, told Nick straight away because I don't know how to do a surprise. I'm surprised we surprised our family because knowing me, I have a big mouth.
Well, I said we have to tell them like straight away because
I'm the one that said I want to tell them.
She's going to ruin it.
No, you didn't want me to tell them before Christmas. I'm like, no, I have to because my mum doesn't know, I'm going to freak out.
No, but I said we'll do it on Christmas
and I didn't
as a Christmas surprise.
Yeah, so we did it before.
But you didn't want to.
No, we did it.
Yeah, but it was a Christmas thing.
But it wasn't on Christmas. It was after. It was before Christmas. We had like a dinner. You didn't want to do that. You wanted to wait longer. Remember? Anyway, he's right. Found out I was pregnant. Told Nick. It was like kind of weird. Like we were happy, but we were also in disbelief. And I think because we weren't really planning it, we just kind of didn't know what to feel. And we went to the doctors and I was so scared. Like I said to Nick, do not come in here. Like, no, yuck, she's gonna know we had sex. Like,
yeah, she made me sit outside.
And then she's like, are you single? And I was like, no, I'm married. She's like, oh, good.
And she said, where's your husband? I'm like,
I was like,
he's in the waiting room. And she was like, maybe you should bring him in.
Alright, it's like, I want people to know what we did. And that's why I didn't want to tell the parents because they know then, for real.
For real? You know we're married, right? Okay, so at that point, after you take the pregnancy test, then you go see the doctor.
And do a blood test.
And do the blood test and then check all your hormones and see if it's all going swimmingly. But from my perspective, right, boobs got bigger, hair got longer everywhere, and moods fluctuated.
What?
When hungry. Like the most when hungry. Like you can't even
and that's
reason
that's
with
still
her,
in now the second
even,
trimester.
This is all stuff that you can see changing. And stomach, slight change, hips, slight.
Yeah,
slightly.
they're like, oh yeah, they widened straight away. My hips widened and my waist widened because I had a small waist, and then it just kind of went like this. And now it's like starting to go like this, you know, like outwards. But it went like this first, and then it'll go forward. Only because I was a smaller build, so I guess I had to expand to be able to fit the baby.
Yeah. Did I say boobs bigger?
Yes, Nick. Once you find out you're pregnant, the first 3 months to me, I think are the hardest. Like I feel like it can be a bit depressing because you don't know if it's gonna stick. So the chance of a miscarriage is so high. And I actually had to go in for a second blood test because my levels weren't what they were supposed to be, but turns out they miscalculated. But that fear of someone telling you, like the doctor's like, you most likely having a miscarriage, like that's, like it's crazy. Like you don't know how you're gonna ever react in that situation, and that was like pretty full on. And like got my like anxiety through the roof. But then I did another blood test and they're like, no, it's still rising, so the dates must be wrong, or you could be late bloomer, or some people don't make a lot of HGC, so you can't jump to conclusions. That's one thing I've learnt being pregnant. You have to...
You're running out of breath? She's running out of breath. If you can hear it, you okay?
Yes, I'm fine.
Yeah, like, take it easy.
I feel dizzy.
You're sitting down talking, that's it.
Just gives me anxiety.
But you run out of breath a lot as well.
Get anxiety.
She's not even moving and she's running out of breath just talking. It's weird.
Yeah, you run out of breath. But I got baby brain. I got baby brain in like the first month.
Baby brain.
And it's getting worse. I forget people's names. I forget appointments. I actually don't even know what day it is sometimes. And I don't care. You actually don't care. So this is something that's really weird that I noticed in the first trimester. All you care about is your baby. Like, even if you're not maternal or you didn't want to fall pregnant, I feel like this would happen to anyone. Straight away, instinct starts to come in and everything else doesn't matter to you. You don't care about other people. You don't care about like finances, business, nothing. It's like you solely are here for this child and that's all you feel. And I think, especially once you give birth, that would obviously get stronger. But I didn't want to do anything. Like, you kind of get into this weird rut as well. So you can't tell anyone you're pregnant. You don't know if it's going to stick. And then all you care about is the baby, and that's all you think about. And you always feel sick. Like, I was constantly sick. So you kind of like, and because it happened around Christmas, New Year, we actually had to go in hiding because usually I'm a bit of an alcoholic. So if I wasn't drinking at a New Year's party, that would have been so obvious. And then you don't want people to know you're pregnant yet because what if you miscarry?
Something happens.
Yeah.
Because you usually say that you're pregnant or tell people or announce it or whatever.
After like the first trimester.
After the first trimester. Because that's like, because once the first trimester's gone,
everything's pretty low risk.
The chances of miscarriage is significantly lower.
And you'll also know any birth defects that your baby may have. Like, they can test for a lot of things by the end of the first trimester, so you don't really tell people till 12, 13 weeks because then you've done all the testing, you know what you're up against, you know everything's going to be okay, or if it's not going to be okay, and you can make your decision. So it's like a super weird time. Like, we were so antisocial. We like didn't see anyone, and I think because I'm a people person, that played on me. Like, it made me a bit down. Like, did you find that?
Yeah, you were a bit down.
And like, I didn't put any effort in myself. Like, I just turned into like a bum a little bit.
Yeah, you were a bit like...
I was a bit brogan.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't do my hair. I never wore makeup. I just sat around.
Yeah, she turned like really ugly.
Don't say that.
I was joking!
Not like a domestic violence person. It's like a little slap. How are you fine?
I have bruises.
No, you don't. Look. Oh. Don't show that. Don't show that.
Look, she did before.
Nick, I didn't do that. It's a pimple.
That's a pimple.
We love each other. That's just how I show my love. I don't want to ruin my lipstick. Someone gave me a nose rub. So I was like, I turned into this other person, and the thing is, that's not a good thing because you should be like taking care of yourself and feeling good about yourself, but it's hard when you're keeping a secret. And because I'm a people person, no, I'm still talking. And because I'm a people person, I need to see my friends. So like, hiding a secret and hiding from them wasn't really fun.
We get it, you're a people person.
But
go into the
Don't.
The size of the baby.
I'll hair flick you. Another thing I want to get across, in the first trimester, don't feel bad if you can't do the things that you normally do, like exercising or getting on top of work and everything. If you kind of slow down, don't feel guilty or bad, because pregnancy is so hard and no one says it. I feel like everyone just is like, oh my God, it's so beautiful, which it is, but your body's like going through a lot and that takes a lot out of you. Like sleep as much as you can. Do not feel guilty. If you want to sit and do nothing all day, sit and do nothing all day.
Because you're sick as well.
You're so sick. Like my nausea, oh my God. It was so bad. And it was all day. Because I didn't really vomit. I just felt nauseous.
And the reason why you get nauseous is because of that hormone that's being released.
Yeah, so it gets better.
The hormone that gets released actually brings on the nausea.
Cravings kick in the first trimester. They get really weird in the second one. Like I'm craving spicy chicken wings right now, actually. I would love some.
We're going to go right now?
So the cravings are really weird, and for me, food aversion. So I like hated a lot of stuff. Oh, and first sign of pregnancy, where before I did the test that day, we walked into Woolies and I was like, oh, mangoes, who would eat those? Because I could smell them. And it like turned me off, and I love mangoes. It was so weird. That's how I'll know I'm pregnant again, is if I like my sense of smell goes through the roof. I can't speak. Anyway, so your body's changing a lot and the baby grows rapidly in the first trimester. Like it goes from being like a pinhead, like the top of a pin. Do you know that?
Pinhead?
Yeah, no. Nick, don't.
You're a pinhead.
Okay, like, you know a pin? The tip of the pin. Like that's how small it is, and then it goes to like a pea. And then
what are the stages in?
I have an app.
Because there's 12 weeks in the first trimester, right?
I'm going to go through them. So I have an app, and I will educate you all now. You can see like all the stages. Like, see?
It compares the size of the baby
to fruit
based on the week.
Okay, in week 5, this is probably when you find out you're pregnant. Usually around week 5. This is what it looks like.
It's just like in a little
It's
embryo.
like kind of, it's not a baby yet. But its heart is beating though, and it's the size of an apple seed.
An apple seed, week 5, apple seed. So then week 6 is?
The size of a pea.
A pea.
And week 7 is the size of a blueberry. Do you remember when it was the size of a blueberry? I was so excited.
Oh, I remember that time.
Week 8, it's got like hands and legs, so that's kind of, it's not looking like a little alien anymore as much, but the head's still quite large. And it is a jelly bean.
I can't remember that.
I do. Shit, Dad. Week 9 is a grape. It's only 2 grams. Week 10, almost there guys, is the size of an olive, and now it's kind of like,
week 10
it's called a fetus. If it gets to week 10, your chances of a miscarriage drop again significantly, and it's officially now a fetus. It's a little baby. Then week 11, it is the size of a fig, and then week 12, so this like around week 12 to 13 when you tell everyone it's a key lime.
We are now week 18.
Going on to week 19.
So week 18 is...
So Georgie right now is 18 and a half weeks old, and he is 200 grams, and he is the size of a pear. So this is second trimester now. We're like almost, not halfway, but we're like, we're definitely in the second trimester now. Like, you know, we're in the thick of it.
Oh, you know what you've got to talk about?
What?
You got... Why are you so upset?
On my thyroid?
Yes, that, and also... your growing pains.
Yes. Anyway, so also...
Why are you so upset?
Baby brain. So...
No, just Saf brain. Stupid.
So in the first trimester, you also get round ligament pain, and it does happen a lot in the second one as well. So this is stuff like no one really tells you. So it feels like it kind of starts in your groin sometimes and comes like on the side of your stomach, and it feels like, so your uterus is like held by 2 muscles that are like bands, and they're like stretching. So that's what it feels like, a stretching kind of sharp pain. It goes away, like it'll come for a couple of minutes and you're like, oh, like what is that? And then it'll like go away. and then sometimes it's a little bit more subtle and lasts for a while, but you're freaking out because it's the first trimester and you're like, no, this is a period pain, because it's a bit crampy. So you like are freaking out that something's going wrong.
Well, what I found was if she's hurting, she's scared that it's a miscarriage, and if she's not hurting, she's scared it's a miscarriage. It's really weird.
You're just so obsessed and you just don't want anything to happen. Like, you just can't help it. But obviously things do happen.
Because you don't know if it's supposed to be hurting or not supposed to be hurting. You don't know. It does. It's meant to hurt, but not like excessive
not like
cramps.
crazily. Then
if you start bleeding, then you know you've got a problem.
You've got to remain calm. Another thing is, don't Google.
You should take some of your own advice.
Can you shut up? Like, you're so annoying.
You're annoying.
Look what you did. Stop it. So sometimes you'll also want to Google every little niggle you feel. Try not to. I mean, don't push that, you retard. Just like, oh my god, can you just stay in one spot? It's really annoying. Stop it. Google.
Are you trying to get in the middle? Like trying to. You want to phase me out?
So in the first, I love this.
Get off.
So just in general, don't Google too much, because I did. But what's really cool,
she Googled something every day.
I was like, I'm dying.
The sky's blue. What does that mean when you're pregnant?
Just like chill out, enjoy the process, and just don't let it get you down. That's like the #1 thing I wanted to get across with this video, because everyone, it is a happy time, but when you first find out and you're going through those changes and people don't know about it, it's really hard. So just know that it's hard and you're not alone. There's online blogs that you can look at. Like, I loved reading other people's stories and it just made me feel better. Why are you laughing at me?
I'm not laughing.
How I got actually a few questions about how I like dealt with nausea. So how I dealt with it was having like a fizzy drink. So whether it be soda water or Coca-Cola, or some fruit tingles.
Why do you say Coca-Cola like that?
Because it's my like guilty pleasure while I've been pregnant. It's been one of my cravings. Georgie loves a good Coke.
You have Coke when you're not pregnant too?
No, I don't. Not often. Only on holidays. Only on holidays.
Every
week. So, something that's going to change. So what a nurse told me is that if you change the pH level in your mouth, it does something to make you not feel nauseous. So fruit tingles are really good, or mints, like chewing on mints. That really helped. There's nothing else you can really do. You've just kind of got to go with emotions.
Just cop it. Just cop it.
The horrible person. So just to kind of wrap things up, I want you guys to know that pregnancy isn't easy. It's hard. Don't believe anyone that says it's easy. I think it's a lot. Your body's going through a lot. Mentally, you're going through a lot. Like the first trimester especially, you're wrapping your head around that there's a little human growing inside of you. And I think that's a big thing to take on, especially, well, for anyone actually, any stage of your life. Doesn't matter how old you are or where you are. It's like a massive thing. Like you're growing
really hard,
something.
It's really hard for me too. It's hard. It's so hard.
No, you know what? Men find it so easy. Like, they don't have to do anything.
Pregnancy's easy.
Stop it. Before I slap you. They just have like they just get a baby handed to them and they're like, oh sweet.
Hey, it was tough work.
No, it wasn't. You played your part at the beginning. You're finished now.
Yeah, that was tough.
Don't let the first trimester get you down. It will be really physically exhausting. But don't worry about that. You'll get your energy back slowly. And I think once you tell people and you share your happy news, it just makes you so happy, and then you can really start getting into the baby stuff, having a look. Like, it's a whole new world and you learn so much. Oh my God. I did not know half the things I knew until I got pregnant. What are you doing? I'm having like a mood today. I'm in a mood and Nick's really annoying me.
What kind of mood?
So hang in there for all the girls in...
Hang in there.
For all the girls in the first trimester who are just like getting used to the idea, and to all the other pregnant women in the second and third trimester, you guys are doing amazing. Keep going. You're going to have an amazing little baby.
Any advice for the second and third trimester?
Oh yeah. Comment in the comments below any advice you have. That's really good, Nick. You finally like contributed something worthwhile. 5 points for you. Gold star. So anyway, we're going to wrap it up here. If you haven't already, give this video a thumbs up. make sure you hit the bell button and subscribe to our channel, and we will see you here next time with more pregnancy updates and some cool challenges.
Bye.